It snowed a bit. I'm at the airport at 3:35 in the morning. These people have a plane to catch at 6. They're going to be sitting around and sitting around and sitting around before their plane leaves. It snowed a little bit. In some places it's kind of icy. Over here it looks like they put salt down because it's all melted. But on the places where you really need it, they didn't put any down, like on the roundabouts. Now just think of it. Tight roundabouts on ice. That's why I don't like roundabouts, for when it snows. They suck. And the snow keeps falling. It has accumulated in places. It doesn't seem to accumulate that much on the ground, on the roads, but I've got about 210 on. It was busy. It was relatively busy and steady before midnight. But after midnight, there was a 2.5 hour gap where it didn't have any business. Then I had a trip, and then I had these people here. The guy was nervous, telling me how to drive, and I said, don't worry, I've been driving on snow since I was 16, back in Montreal. Everything's fine, everything's gonna go all right. Yeah. And one of my headlights is out and I don't have a spare. Par for the course tonight. Yeah, it's gonna go all right. I still got 2.5 hours to go till the end of my shift. And I might as well just hang in there and just get her done. Oh yeah, that guy was pretty terrible. He tipped me a whole 20 cents too. It was $28.90 or $29.80, and he gave me 2 20s and said, "Give me back a 10." Cheap sons of bitches. And it's still snowing, so who knows how much will accumulate during the daytime. The temperature is -1. And if it's still somewhat humid up there, we're going to keep getting snow. I think it's getting stronger too. The snow is falling. We're getting more falling now than we did for a while. But that's out here near the airport. In town, it might not be snowing at all. Oh well. I'll be back tomorrow. It's cold, it's been snowing. I'm walking home now. It's the kind of night where people got home at rush hour. Then once they were home, they decided not to go anywhere because it was cold outside. And snowing a little harder and softer as the night went on. Now it's snowing quite steadily and the pavement is not visible anymore, whereas for half the night the pavement was visible. Anyway, I didn't make that much money. I guess I grossed about 200, not much more than that. Because nobody went anywhere. Temperature's about -4 right now. Time is about a couple of minutes before 6 a.m. I imagine. Or around 6 a.m. Anyway, just thought I'd show you what the conditions are rather than showing myself. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna be a little late getting back. It snowed a lot more, and It took me the last half an hour to get all the ice and snow off the car that's been stuck to it. I got stuck 4 or 5 times, and I got stuck really good. I went down a couple of streets where the snow was deeper than it looked, and I bogged down and got real stuck real good. Oh man, this is not exactly my favorite thing. I made a lot of money though. I got about $450 on it. Did well. Did very well. You know, this guy's gonna he's probably gonna beat me off the line. Yeah, the time is 6:19. We're heading back into town. I dropped off in the Western Communities over here. And I don't think we need wipers anymore. Get down there. Yeah, so this is what the conditions are. The snow was as much as a foot deep in some places, and that's where I got stuck. This car sits too low, so the front air dam and bumper make like a snow plow, and then the car gets high centered because it sits too low. And so that's where the fun is tonight. Move over here. Yeah, I just want to. I spent enough time washing and cleaning. I cleaned the mats. I washed the snow and ice off the car. I didn't do the vinyl Armor All protectant, but everything's kind of wet in here anyway. So I've got the heat turned on real high to dry it out. So yeah, there's some years we don't get any snow at all because it's usually, if it's cold enough to snow, it's too dry, and if it's wet enough to snow, it's too warm, most of the time, but not this time. This January, and it's a little bumpy, so my apologies for the shaky camera. Change hands for a bit. Anyway, not much to report except that I did really well, and I was real busy all night long, and I had to rock myself out of being stuck about 5 times. Once or twice with customers in the car. Yeah, that's about all for tonight. Tell you one thing. When it snows here, people get really stupid. Really, really, really stupid. Because they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to plow it. They don't know how to drive in it. And now I'm stuck in the morning rush hour that's starting to come into town. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. Got 2 more shifts to go this week. Forgot to do anything while I was in the car because I was too busy. And I'm trudging home through the snow. Well, it's kind of on the sort of icy side right now in places. It's kind of mushy. The temperature's just around 0 or 1 degree, something like that. Maybe 2 degrees. So there are places where there was ice forming on the roadway, and then a bit of water on top of it. So it was kind of treacherous in places. Yeah, that's what happens when you had some ice and then when the temperature's just above freezing. You're going to get a film of water on the ice, and you can slip easily and wipe out. So fortunately I didn't wipe out and I didn't hit anything, and I did get surprised a couple times. Ended up having quite a busy night. Then at one point, dispatch calls me on my phone. They asked me, "Did you fall asleep?" And I said, "Well, yeah, it's been known to happen." And he said, "Well, half an hour ago you accepted a trip at such and such an address. I suggest you go do it." So I went. The guy was saying, well, it took you a long time. I said, look, I'm sorry. I must have accepted the trip to shut the beeper off because I was sleeping. And I just wanted it to shut off and leave me alone. But by mistake, it's like when you hit snooze on your alarm. That's kind of what I did to the call. I accepted the call but didn't go for it because I was sleeping. So anyway, I finally went and I apologized to the guy. And he says, take me to the bank. So I took him to the bank, and he was unable to get any money out, and he was unable to pay me. He says, just leave me here, I'll pay you tomorrow, give me your number, whatever. $15. Maybe I should have just told the dispatcher, fuck it, I'm going back to sleep. But then, about 20 minutes later, I got another call, and I had a few more calls in the morning. I don't know how much I've done, maybe $250, $300. I'm sure it was about that much. Well, I'm just about home now. Just watching my steps so I don't wipe out. One more night to go this week. See, we got snow. Well, Friday morning. Get past this guy. Friday morning at the airport. And you can even see the flowers a little bit because the snow is reflecting the light. We've got some snow and we've got some noise making things here going on. Just let me get this seatbelt on. Oh, shut up. There we go. Got the seatbelt on. Yeah, I think I mentioned, if I didn't, I'll mention it now. We've got this seatbelt bylaw. We're supposed to wear seatbelts as taxi drivers since September because of the ride sharing and Uber and all that. And we have to conform to the same rules as they do. I don't understand why, but we do. All I know is that for more than 2 decades, I was driving cab without wearing seatbelt and never had a problem. Okay. So now I just dropped off this lady who's going to Mexico, and I said, I wish I could come with you. Yeah. But I had some good fares tonight. I'm up to about $270, which is pretty good considering it was slow most of the night. Had one guy who forgot to leave his keys in Langford, and he had to drive out there and drive back. So that was like a $55 fare, and this was another $50 fare. So I made $100 in the last couple hours. And before that, yeah, I had about a 170 on. So it was slow and gradual, but it's going really good right now, and it's the end of my week. I might have another fare or two when I get back into town. Anyway, hope yours is better than mine.